Hello children, good evening to one and all. I hope everyone are being safe during this time. So in yesterday's class we have discussed about constitution, how the constitution was being written, and how the constitution was being yes, how our constitution was been written, and on what basis, what is the path, who were the members, why we are still, even though the 50 to 60 years took place, already the Indian constitution has been written, but still we are following. What are the reasons behind why we are following the that rules and regulations which has been written very long time ago? Okay, so in the last class, you have understood these all things, and you came to know that it took nearly 3 years to write our constitution. So our constitution is also called as the biggest and bulkiest constitution in the world, because each and everything, whatever studies, whatever debates, discussions took place, finally our constitution was been written there, and it came into force in the year 26th January 1950, but it was adopted before 1.5 month, that is 26th November 1949. In that year it was been adopted, but it came into force in that year there. So I have told what is the reason behind why we had adopted at that period only. So in today's class we are going to learn about guiding values of Indian Constitution. Some guiding values were being there. Some people share their thoughts, how our constitution should be there, what are the rules and regulations. Some people, even though they are not belonging to the constituent assembly, but also they gave their valuable contribution towards the writing the Indian constitution. So to learn as well as to understand the constitution in a correct way means, first you have to understand the overall philosophy of the constitution, on what basis our constitution has been written. Okay, so we have to understand the philosophy first. This can done by the knowing the views of some prominent leaders about our constitution, as well as preamble of our constitution there. Okay, how we will come to know what is the correct philosophy, in what basis they have written the constitution. So just you have to follow the philosophy, what on what basis we have written, and according to that one, how is our preamble, everything. By seeing that, you will come to know in constitution what are the things has been written there. So next one, dream and the promise. Some philosophical leaders, some political leaders, they gave their contribution, I have told. So according to that one, Mahatma Gandhi ji, he was not a member of constituent assembly, but many members follow his vision, whatever he was dreaming, how our constitution should be. So in one interview which was held in the year 1931, in a magazine called Young India, he expressed himself in it is his magazine only. In Young India, he told that he wanted to frame the constitution that provide a effective voice for the poor community as well as unprivileged community in our country. Unprivileged means the person those who belong to the lower caste. For them, they were not having any kind of facilities or any kind of um, any kind of facilities in the society, as well as education facility was not being there, proper basic facility was not being given to those people. So Gandhiji, what was his dream, to frame the constitution means for the poor people and unprivileged people, they they should get a correct platform to raise their voice. Whatever problems they are facing, they can discuss in the government level, and they can take all kind of provisions, they can raise their voice in that stage. So in that way, the constitution rules and regulations should be framed there. And also he wanted the constitution to promote harmonious living of all the communities in the society, and it should not allow any kind of practice of untouchability, intoxicating of drinks or a drug for a country, we should it should be how our constitution should be means it should give the equality both for men and women, for upper caste and lower caste people, for rich and poor, all kind of law, all kind of these should be mentioned in the on the basis of equality. So he himself in his magazine he expressed about his view how a constitution should be there. So based on that one only, some political leaders which were belonging to the constituent assembly, they followed while writing this constitution, because he wanted to eradicate the untouchability, he wanted to eradicate the poor, that is poverty from our country. Whatever evil practices were been going on, he wanted to eradicate that evil practices there. So that is why he wanted to frame such a constitution that where these kind of people, those who have been exploited, they should get a platform to raise their voice. So Mahatma Gandhi ji wanted to write this kind of constitution where the equality will be exist in the society there, not a inequality. Same thing, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was also he expressed his view. He was the chairman of drafting committee as well as constituent assembly. So he was also expressed his view. So he wanted what kind of constitution, rules and regulations, what kind of rules and regulations should be set up in the constitution is where the people will get all kind of equality on the basis of political, social and economical life. So he wanted political, social, and economic equality for all, not for some category of the people. For all the people, uh, equal distribution should be there. How the upper caste people they are getting the dignity, respect. Same thing, the low caste people should also get that dignity as well as that respect in the society. Whatever occupations they are grabbing as well as they are getting, same thing, those occupation also should be given to those people. So between them equality we can maintain. So he was also known as the father of Indian constitution. So he feared that if deny equality in the social and economical for a life long, the democracy will be in a great danger. So on that basis he gave more importance on equality there, and it is the fundamental right for each and every citizen those are living in a country as well as somewhere in the world. So equality should be maintained between the different communities which will exist in their own country. So he was having one fear, if we deny as well as if we not give more importance on equality means maybe the democracy will be in a great danger. We will not say a successful democratic principle will be implemented in that country. So that is why he expressed his view that the equality should be maintained in the country, so that each and every people those are living in a country means they can get the equal opportunities, whether it belongs to the men and women, caste, low caste and high caste, rich and poor, for all equal opportunities needed. So he expressed his view that on the basis of equality, the rules and regulations should be written. So same thing, Jawaharlal Nehru, the prime minister, first prime minister of our country, he was also expressed his view. So he wanted equality of opportunity to all, to end the poverty and ignorance of control of diseases. He wanted all the responsible person to dedicate themselves to service of society. So in what way means he was also gave the importance for equality only, as well as the constitution set how we have to set up means it should remove the poverty and whatever ignorance is there, that is the untouchable people, we should avoid that kind of practices. And also we should whatever diseases, whatever diseases are being spreading in our country, it should be a control by set of rules and regulations where the health minister, health department, they have to uh, follow these rules and regulations. And also he wanted all the responsible people to dedicate, whoever educated and interested in the doing the service for the society means for themselves, we have to give certain platform to render their service. So he expressed his view while writing the constitution. So the philosophy of the constitution, on what basis our constitution was being written, the values that inspired and guided the freedom struggle formed the foundation for India's democracy also. Whatever freedom struggle movement took place in our country, it became the foundation for India's democratic country also. These values are included in a short statement of its basic value called as a preamble. So preamble, it provides a standard to the examine as well as to evaluate any law and action of a government to find out whether it is a good or a bad, and it is the soul of the Indian constitution also. So in this way, our constitution has been written. Based on philosophical values, our constitution has been written. So the constitution began with a short statement of its basic value. This is called as a preamble. So this preamble is the soul of our constitution. But taking the inspiration from American model, most of the country in the contemporary world has chosen to begin their constitution with an preamble. So from because America, I think it was the first country to written their constitution as well as the preamble. So by saying that preamble only, they can they can come to know what are the rules and regulations are being set up in that country there. So it is like an introductory part where we will see and where we can examine whether it is a good or a bad, and what are the basic rules we have given for our citizens and each and everything else. So whatever contemporary world, in this contemporary world, whoever written the democracy, they took as a model, that is American preamble. Based on that, they started their their constitution in their particular countries there. So preamble of a country read like a poem on a democracy. It contains a philosophy on which the entire constitution has been built. So it provides a standard to examine and evaluate any kind of law and action of a government to find out whether it is a good or bad. And it is also called as the soul of the Indian constitution. So have you seen the preamble? Preamble means it is the cover page of the constitution. So we the people of India, having solemnly resolved the constitute India into a sovereign, socialistic, secular, democratic republic. So justice, social, economic and political justice should be given to the each and every people. Liberty, freedom. Liberty means freedom of express of thoughts, expression, belief, faith and worship. Equality, the status and of opportunity and to promote among them all. Fraternity, the brotherhood sentiment to maintain peace and prosperity with the other nation also. So in our constituent assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, to hereby adopt the an act to give ourselves to this constitution, because on that day only our constitution was being adopted there. So we the people of India means the constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representatives, and not handed down them by the king or any outside power. So that is why we are starting on we the people of India. So the people of Indian citizens, they have given to run a government in the hands of their representative, but not in the hands of their kings. Sovereign. Sovereign means people have the supreme power, right to make a decision on internal as well as external matters. No external power can dedicate the in the government of India. Socialistic means wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally in by the society. The government should regulate the ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequality. So they have to follow the equality there, and they should not show any kind of discrimination between the people. Secular. Secular means citizens have complete freedom to follow any kind of religion, but there is no official religion which has been announced in our country. No official language religion is there. that Hindu is only our official religion. All the religion are being treated very equally. So that is why our country is also called as a secular country. Democratic means they will follow the democratic principles. Republic, you all know, the head of the state is an elected person, and he is not an hereditary. It is not a hereditary position. So the prime minister as well as the president are being elected by the people as well as by the representative. They are not a hereditary. Okay, after him another person will elected as your representative as well as he will run the government. So that kind of administration we call it as a republic. Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, these are all um, these are all which has been inculcated in our constitution, and our constitution was being made there. So for each and every community those are living in our country, by keeping their interest to maintain the equality, to give the justice to the people, dignity, respect to the people, these philosophical ideas were been adopted, and it has been written in our constitution. So we the people of India means the people of India, they will elect their representatives, and they will all the responsibilities will be given in the hands of their representatives to run the government, not in the hands of particular king there. So in this way, each and every whatever you are seeing principles, that is sovereign, socialistic, secular, democratic republic, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, secular. So these are all concepts which is suitable for our country to maintain peace and prosperity, to enhance the whatever disadvantaged group is there for women's, for low caste people. For them it is like a stage to raise their voice, as well as to raise their voice, and they can get the equal opportunity how the other people are getting in our country. So this is our preamble, as sorry, this is our this is the picture of preamble what I'm showing to you people. So just remember those points as a 1 mark. Okay, so next concept for you people is institutional design. In what way our constitution has been designed there. A constitution is not a merely statement of values and philosophy, but also some institutional arrangement has been done while writing the constitution. As we noted above, a constitution is mainly embodying these values into the institutional arrangement. Much of the document is called Constitution of India is about this arrangement. It is very long and detailed document. Therefore, it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. So those who crafted the constitution felt that it has to be in the accordance with the people aspiration and the change in the society. And the constitution makers made the provisions of making the certain amendments to the constitution from time to time, how the society go on changing, how the condition has been changing day to day. According to that one, we can do some amendments in the constitution. Amendment means is nothing but, I have told, some laws are being changed. Okay, I think that in the right to equality some laws are being changed to the some extent there. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇರೋ ಅಂತಹ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳನ್ನ ಹೊಸ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರವಣಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ, ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ. So whatever existing law will be there, if it is not applicable for the present situation, we can apply by doing some changing in the laws there. So for that changing we call it as amendments. So this kind of provision is also been given in the constitution, in our constitution. So these changes are called as a constitutional amendments. So it works, it is a working, there are three major aspects. So it lays down the produce of choosing the person to govern the country, that is election, how the elections should be held in a country, how it what is the system of election. It will give the guidelines to the people, as well. Also, it defines who will have how much power to take the decision, which person will have more power to take the decision, which person will get the less power to take the decision. That is distribution of power sharing between legislative, executive and judiciary. Power sharing means some powers will be shared. The government will share their power with the executive, judiciary and legislature. And also it puts the limit to what the government can do by providing some rights to the citizen, um, and that cannot be violated. Whatever rules and regulations are being set up for our country, it should not be violated by the people. If they are violating means the certain punishment will be there, and in our constitution according to that one, the punishment will be given by those people. If the government only violating such an rules and regulation means, even government will get the warning that you are violating, so do change your law or change your policy while making the decision. So such kind of rights and duties what we are giving to the citizen, that right and duties we call it as a fundamental rights. That is the basic rights for each and every citizen those are living in our country. So it puts the limit to what the government can do by providing some rights to the citizen that cannot be violated. No ever person is having the right to violate the rules and regulations which has been written in our constitution. So these are called as a fundamental rights. So according to that one, the citizens are getting their fundamental rights and duties to live in our country. So about these fundamental rights and duties you are going to learn in the next sessions, also in the next chapters, and even about election procedure, how the elections are being held. So in this way, the design has been made, so that whatever philosophy, whatever values you can see, it should input in the institutional arrangement. So most of the Indian constitutional details these arrangement, the constitution describe the institutional arrangement in a legal language there. So this is all about how our constitution has been written, and how we are following the institutional design. It provides the opportunity for doing the amendments in the law, whatever present law has been written in the constitution. According to that one, if it is not correctly implemented in the at the present situation, we can do some changes there. How means how the amendment will took place means, in the both the houses of the parliament, uh, the two-third majority vote they have to get to do certain changes in the mm, while doing the amendments in the constitution. For an example, Jammu and Kashmir. For Jammu and Kashmir, they were having their own constitution. So according to that one, some laws were not some provisions were not getting for the Jammu and Kashmir people. At present situation, it was not uh, a correct law what they have implemented there. So as a result, when Modi government came to the administration, when they started running the administration, they came to know what are the disadvantages of this law. So as a result, um, they called a meeting in the both houses of the parliament, and they told that what are the advantages and disadvantages about that one. So they agreed to remove that law. Okay, so as a result, at present, Jammu and Kashmir is not having its own constitution. It will come under the Indian constitution as well as Indian rules and regulations. So that is why such laws can be changed according to the time and according to the situation. So that kind of making changes in the law we call in the name of amendments. So that is about today's session. I hope you have understood about how our constitution has been written. So hoping so you understood the concept. Still, if you are having any kind of doubt, you can just pin your questions in the group, so that I will try my level best to sort out your problem. So signing out, have a great evening. Bye everyone.